All right, guys, here goes nothing. We're going to talk about the ledger and how to input, to add and redeem from the ledger properly. On the front of this ledger, it's really wise to keep a sticky note throughout your shift. When you open for day shift, you're going to start a sticky like this. And every transaction in or out, when you're done putting it in the book, you're going to keep a log. I like to do pluses up here, minuses down here. I've seen some of y'all do left or right. The best way to track it is all of your pluses, all of your minuses. Then, when night shift comes in, all of this stuff will go on your shift change paperwork. You can look at those numbers there to make your own sticky note, or grab a little calculator and you add up 180, 75, 125. We have 380 bucks. So I'm going to write it on my night sticky note. I'm going to write plus 380 for the day. Then I'm going to add the minuses, 150, 250. Done with the day sticky note. Now I have my night shift sticky note. Now I know that this was the activity that I didn't do, someone else's. And as I do stuff, I will then add to it individually, write the amount, first initial, last name, whatever you can identify them best with. Because then you're going to need that on your paperwork at the end of the night and at your soft count. Whatever paperwork comes after the transaction has happened. Okay. Someone prints a ticket. This ticket is for $799. JFK is not redeemed at all today. So, it's an odd amount. I like my ledgers in 5 cent zeros. So I say, hey, no, JFK, I'm going to give you $9. Make this easy on me. So, I am going to notate on here 509 cash plus 290 ledger. If the math is not mathing, just take your $799, subtract whatever cash you're giving them. That tells you how much is going on the ledger, and then you initial it. They sign it up at the top. You're then going to get your redemption sheet. You're going to write their name, the amount, the time, $500. Stand up, initial it, because we are going to pay them $500. Now that we want to put them in the ledger, we're going to open the page. We'll come back to this because I have a note about this. This is our actual ledger. This is our pretend page, okay? This is, I'm writing in it because it's not real. It's for the video. Okay. I'm going to write the date. John F. Kennedy. We are adding $290. My balance right now is $509. I'm going to add $290. That gives me $799. Okay. Now that it's in the front, I'm going to flip to the page that belongs to John Kennedy. If he doesn't have a page, it's alphabetized by last name. We're going to make him a page by writing his name at the top. Now I'm going to write the date. Stand up number 6 plus 290. Leaving his balance at 290. There will always be a running balance on each individual person's page and at the front. Now that I've done both of those, I'm going to close my book and I'm going to write it here. Plus 290 JFK. All right. Now we've added to the ledger properly. Now it's time to redeem. So we're just going to use JFK as the example. And he's back the next day to redeem his money. We're going to write the date. We're going to write the name. And then we're going to write plus or minus. He has 290. So we're taking out 290 taking it from our balance, leaving us at 509. It's probably better to establish this at their individual page first. I jumped ahead because I knew what it was because I'm making a video. Go to their page when they want to redeem. You have 290 available. All right, write the date. Redeem minus 290, leaving you at $0. Debits are minus, credits are pluses. It's always a great idea to do this. Now that his balance is 0, and now that he's now taken off of his 290, his balance is at 0. Whatever sticky note you have, let's say it's day shift the next day, yada yada. Now you're gonna write minus 290. Whatever day it is, page, front, sticky note. Okay. One other thing I guess we could talk about is putting a plus or minus on this column. I noticed like we've all been doing this, so this is like really great because sometimes we write it in the wrong column, and when we don't have a plus or minus in front of it, it's hard to tell what we did. Because if we write it in the plus side, but the math doesn't math, and it got subtracted, well, why was it in the plus? We're supposed to add something. Well, who messed up? Did they mess up by adding it or subtracting it wrong, or did they mess up writing in the wrong column? Put a plus or minus, then we know, and there's no confusion. Another thing that you can do, and it's back and forth, is when you have your ticket for $7.99, you want to always establish on the ticket what you're doing. But you could go to JFK's page, and let's just pretend that none of this is here. This is his fake page. It's not real. What you would do is write the date, write stand up number 6, and then I would write the full amount plus $7.99, $7.99, and then underneath it, redeem $509, leaving him $290. If you do it this way, and this is totally fine, but if you do it this way, you only want to establish this full amount and then the redemption amount on their individual page. Adding it to the front is kind of irrelevant, and it's space that is taking up space, and we don't really have to establish it at the front. You would only do this part at the front. You would only do the plus 290 here. You wouldn't do the whole thing. I feel like that summarizes everything very well. Plus, minus, make sure you write it in the front. Make sure you write it in the back. And then track it on your sticky so you can follow along with paperwork. I feel like that covers everything.